Okay, so I'm gonna try this. See if you can see me. Yesterday I announced that we're gonna build the Interceptor replica from Mad Max. It's something I've wanted to do my whole life, and finally got a car that's acceptable to do it. And I wanted to give a quick walk around overview and kind of show you how the project's going to go. Now, I want to document as much of it as possible, but I am certainly no YouTuber, and my editing skills are very poor, and so is my camera. But that's okay. I wanted to actually just sort of go over this. So, the actual car from Mad Max is a 1973 Ford Falcon XB from Australia. It's not a car you can get in the US. So, I did a lot of comparing photographs and lengths and widths and measurements and stuff, and I came to the conclusion that there are two cars I could have done this with. One being a 73 Ford Torino, the other one being this, which is a 72 Oldsmobile, excuse me, Oldsmobile Cutlass, the fastback version, not the Cutlass Supreme. And this particular one is rough, so Oldsmobile fans, leave me alone. I know. This one has seen better days and better paint jobs, and is very rusty. It's missing a lot. Someone decided to do a 442 package sort of dress-up kit on it, and did it very poorly. It definitely had the wing screwed to the trunk back here with a bunch of holes drilled in it, and I took the wing off and sold it immediately because I don't need it. The money can go towards other things. Now, the other thing is, since this is not exactly the right car, I plan on doing this a little bit different than an actual, like, inch for inch replica. I'm going to do it the way that I think it should go, which is similar, yeah, but I'm going to change some stuff. I'm going to go with some big off-road tires in the back. I'm going to jack this thing up really high so it looks kind of silly. I'm not sure what I want to do about the supercharger yet. The one in the movie is fake. It's just sitting on a couple of brackets up high, and it's driven by an electric motor. I would really like to do a functional supercharger, but that's a lot of money, and I'm trying to do this very cheaply for two reasons. One, because I am a cheapskate. The second one being that, well, if you lived in the wasteland and you were working with what you had, that's what you had. So we're trying to do it completely with scrounged and found parts and all of that sort of thing. And I have started working on it a little bit. Motor and transmission run great. It's got a 350 Olds rocket and an automatic. Yes, the original car was a stick shift, but you get what you get. And I started working on the floors. I'm doing some of it the right way and some of it the not right way. I could very easily buy pans and just cut out the floor and put new pieces in, but they're $90, $100 a piece, and there's 4 of them in the frame that you can see here, and another 2 or 3 underneath the back seat and for the trunk and all that. So what I decided to do is, the floor is messy. It's got a whole lot of little holes in it. Swiss cheese, I think would be the easiest way to put it. And so for the parts that you can't see where the seats are going to be over it, I've started. We did a bunch of small patches, little bits and pieces, little strips of metal patched in, and then I've painted over it with some rubber coating to try and keep it from completely disintegrating. And I'm not concerned about making it pretty. I got a long way to go, and it's just going to be a little piece. I did put a big piece in the footwell there. That was pretty ugly. But for the parts you can see, I've been adding panels of steel, hammered and bent into place, and then there is a layer of sealer put around that. It's put down over top of the hole, bent into place, and tacked down with tech screws. That one's in the dark. But the ones up there in the footwell and whatnot, where you can see in this little strip here, this was mostly lazy. That was not a bad spot. It just was nice and crusty. were really just trying to keep me from falling onto the street and dying of fume inhalation. Other than that, I'm really not concerned. Because guess what? It's a wasteland car. It's not going to be a show car. This is not a restoration. So, that's kind of the direction we're going to go. I'm going to start in the next couple days tearing the back out and cutting things. The glass needs to go, the trunk lid needs to go. Today I fixed the seat up. I have this nice grungy seat that in a other little video that I did. This is the driver's seat, and it was ugly. And when you sat in it, you sat on the floor because the springs were all broken. The passenger seat, though, is pretty good. And instead of just taking the brackets off and switching the two seats around, I decided to keep the nasty seat on the driver's side because that's the way it would be. If you were going to beat it up and use it and drive the crap out of it every day, the driver's seat would get worn out in the wasteland. So we're going to keep it that way. It's covered in duct tape and whatnot, but I reinforced the bottom with some hard foam and pine, so now it doesn't really spring anymore, and then I added a couple layers of soft foam on the top. So it's comfortable, it works. I do have to move the seats back a ways inside the car because my legs are too long. Apparently that's a common problem with A-body GMs. You know, I'm only 5'8", maybe a little taller, but I got legs like a 6'2" man, so I actually am having the local metal guy that lives down the street. He's building some brackets that'll slide everything back like 4 inches, and then I can use the tracks for adjustment. But that was the big thing. I wanted to just kind of give it the walk around, let everybody know what kind of car it actually is. I am selling lots of parts. Everything in the nose needs to go away. I think I would really like to build the... Yes, something is on fire or the police are on the way. I would really like to actually cut the whole front end off and do the proper GT style nose cone that was on the car from the movie. That was a custom built piece. But if you watch Road Warrior, the second film, there's a point where that is smashed off. So in the meantime, while I'm taking the time and effort to build that, I'm going to cut the nose of this nice and cleanly off and sell all the bumper and the bezels and all the extraneous bits, and kind of do a big tube bumper and leave the grill empty with just lights in it and kind of go from there. I got a lot of work to do. I'm going to get back to welding floors and pulling parts. If you need a good back seat, rear windshield, trunk lid, let me know. All right, stay tuned.